Normally, I start off with a joke, but you know what's the greatest joke of all time? The entire city of Indianapolis. Welcome back to the Nonsense Podcast. And welcome back to the Nonsense Podcast. I'm your host, FM Bob, and I am joined again with Miss Kelly.
Hello, everyone.
And that's about it. I'm back. I apologize for another extremely long delay.
Hopefully we'll be back on the right schedule again.
Yeah, because I have a big announcement after this.
Big announcement.
Super big announcement. But I will save that for the next episode.
You gotta wait.
You gotta wait. Because this episode, I'm roasting Indianapolis. So, just a little bit of back information. I think I've mentioned it 1,000 times over. Me and the lovely Kelly are trying to get the fuck out of our neighborhood. And potentially the fuck out of Chicago. Illinois in general. Illinois is just full of shit. And I'm sick of it. And I gotta get the fuck out. So, we've been scouting around for new places to go. And Indianapolis came up. I think I mentioned that a while back on the podcast. I was looking for, cool places to, hang around, go look at and see what was going on in Indianapolis. Do what the locals do. And there was radio silence from you guys for once. No emails, no suggestions, nothing. I was like, that's kind of weird. And then we go. And I fucking see why. There is not a goddamn thing going on in Indianapolis. It is a dead city.
Dead.
That is fucked, dude. So let's just go from the beginning. For one, the drive from Chicago to Indianapolis is ass.
It doesn't sound like it's a lot on paper, but man,
dude,
it's hell.
It was 2.5 hours, which again, not that far. We went to Green Bay. Green Bay was like three, yeah. Maybe 3:15.
3:15,
Yeah. So that was longer of a drive, but it was much more of an enjoyable drive. There was shit to look at. There's stuff going on. There's businesses almost the entire way up. It was literally like no problem jumping off the expressway and stopping somewhere for a few minutes. Getting to stretch your legs out and all of that kind of shit. Indianapolis, nothing. Not a damn thing.
It was wind turbines.
Yeah, it was the first time you seen a shit ton of wind turbines.
Yeah,
that was about it. That was the highlight of the trip. It was like, oh, look at all these wind turbines.
Look at that.
there's at least 150 miles again worth of stretch of farm.
Not even like enjoyable farm.
No, not like corn stalks or some shit like that. It was nothing.
Flatland.
We saw horses.
There was like one horse.
It was 3. There was a baby in there somewhere, I think. There was a baby horse.
It didn't make up for it. It didn't.
We seen the dead deer.
Yeah.
2 dead deer, I think, and a raccoon.
Multiple raccoons.
Multiple raccoons. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that drive was absolutely horrific, and it was not like we took the back roads or anything like that. I took 65 the whole fucking way, and it was just a drag, dude. It was an absolute fucking drag. What was the best place that we stopped on the entire way? Maryville. Crown Point. Well, right. We stopped at Maryville, Crown Point, Indiana area, which is a place we were considering moving any goddamn way.
Yeah.
That was the best stop we had. After that, it was right at Chick-fil-A on the way back, just because we refused to eat anything in Indianapolis.
Yeah. It was like, get me the hell out of here.
So
90% of Indianapolis is the fucking ghetto.
Yeah, it seemed like it was more ghetto than I expected. It was a lot of ghetto areas, and then there was like just a shit ton of like gated communities. Like, we're gonna wall ourselves off because the rest of the city sucks.
I'll tell you one thing. I maybe saw one grocery store in that entire thing, and we were there. We went around.
Yeah, we went almost all through the city.
One.
We've seen one grocery store. I'm pretty sure I seen a Kroger downtown somewhere, but that was that, dude. I seen one Kroger, and it was a small ass Kroger. There's nothing like the Kroger from your hometown.
No, it was a little hole in the wall that they call food.
Yeah, it might have been the size of a Walgreens. I think it was smaller than a Walgreens. It had to have been smaller than Walgreens. I think you could have got more groceries out of a Walgreens or a CVS. Dude, that was actually pathetic. So where do we go? After, that 200-mile travel of nothing, we stopped around the north side. We came in from the east, the west side, obviously, because we're coming down from Chicago. And then we kind of went from the west side north, wrapped around through the city, and then back out. Because I was told that the east side of the city wasn't that great in the first place. And I can only imagine if the north and west sides were shit, and the city is shit, the east side must have just been a fucking bomb shelter.
Oh, yeah. Meth everywhere.
Dude, that entire city, like, it was meth heads everywhere. I would love for somebody to prove me wrong and tell me that there was no meth heads in Indianapolis, Indiana. I think everybody there 100% was a meth dealer. If you weren't using meth, you were a meth dealer. And I have a problem with supply and demand. Everybody can't use and or sell. Like, there's no business. That's why the city's broken. We stopped by Colt Stadium. What is it, like somebody's oil stadium? I don't fucking remember. The stadium's nothing impressive. And I mean, that's because the Colts suck and their best thing was...
My fucking thing, they had a factory right the fuck
in
between.
It was like the baseball stadium. There's a baseball stadium.
Totally see through.
Right.
Like, there was no, you have to get a ticket you could watch that game from the street.
Hell yeah. If you just drive around a block a few times, you can watch the whole ass game. Right, it was the baseball stadium, then a fucking huge ass factory, which I think the factory was bigger than both stadiums. So it was baseball factory, then the football stadium. And just in the architecture, which I'm not even a dude that gives two shits about architecture, but let's be honest, dude. If you're gonna do some form of architecture, you need to kind of have that shit balanced.
A little bit.
Yeah, and it just went from new age postmodern style, all outdoor glass. What was that building we drove by? The Marriott, new age style building, completely new age, high tech. Blue glass next to a rundown factory that was probably built in the 40s, next to a probably brand new built baseball stadium, and it's just like, dude, like get your buildings together, dude. I don't know. It looked like a mini version of Capitol Hill. Yeah. That was just right in the middle of all the bullshit. Like, nothing matched up. Like, I think, and I mean, people learn this a lot in the city of Chicago. Like, as buildings are being built, they look at the buildings around them and they're like, all right, let's do something that kind of complements all the buildings that we're near, but we can do our own thing. But they complement each other. They just said, no, fuck you, I want a blue building. And I'm going to build it big as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, in Chicago, even if you do have, like, an older building and you're going to build something next to it, they usually make it kind of historic or historic looking.
Right.
To make it match.
Exactly.
This was like, fuck you, we're doing this brand new shit right here.
Next to a building that looked like a discount Capitol Hill. Next to some shit where they looks like they signed the Declaration of Independence. Next to,
something that caught on fire and didn't have windows.
Right. I don't think all the buildings had windows. A lot of those buildings didn't have windows at all. And if they did have windows, they were boarded up now because, fuck it, we don't care anymore. Indianapolis, get your shit together on your buildings, man. Like, that's ridiculous. You guys need to work on your buildings.
And the layout.
Yeah, the city layout was absolute ass. I think I've mentioned this 1,000 times over. The greatest thing that ever happened in Chicago was the Chicago Fire. This entire city burning to the ground was the best thing that ever happened to it. As soon as it happened, we rebuilt the city. We built a grid system. North, south, east, west. All the streets match. There's a handful of rogue streets like Ogden and Milwaukee that just want to go diagonal. And everybody's kind of like, fuck you, but cool. Maybe we can cut through some of the city a little faster. But fuck you for fucking up our simplicity. But that's about it. Everything is perfect. North, south, east, west. No weird curves. No loop-de-loops. Like, that's how straight and narrow our city is. That the downtown loop is literally called the loop because that's the only loopy part of the fucking city. Everything else is straight and narrow. Indianapolis, everything curves. I think we were going northwest for a little bit, and then it was southwest, and it was like, dude, like, these streets don't match. I was in a crossover fucking style SUV, and I was like, we're gonna roll over at some point from all these goofy ass curves. Like, it was a hot ass mess.
No creativity. Every street was just the name of a state.
Yeah, I don't think there was
Missouri and Pennsylvania, and you couldn't think of anything more creative than that.
Yeah, man.
The most creative thing was they had a Martin Luther King.
Everybody has a Martin Luther King.
Everybody has one of those.
I think you know what they did differently though? They named it differently. Because like ours is King Drive, a few other streets are like MLK, and theirs was Dr. MLK.
Oh.
And I was just like, but they spelled doctor all the way out.
Oh,
so it was full spelled Dr. MLK. Or ML King Drive or some shit. I was like, dude, you guys suck. This whole city sucks. The street layout sucks. And of course, MLK is in a ghetto like it belongs. But yeah, no, that entire drive around was a mess. I can't even think of... I'm trying to think of like one positive thing to say about the entire experience of going to Indianapolis. We refused to eat at the one place that we were recommended for food. Because it
looked like puke.
Yeah, it's Creole Cajun, which I'm not gonna eat Cajun food from a non-Southerner. I kind of... if it looked like it was Southerner style, maybe I'd came in. If I'm getting Creole music, I want to come in like a fucking Popeyes commercial. I need the band playing in the background. I need an old black lady in the back somewhere. I don't want to eat Cajun food from two hipster Jamaicans. Like, I was not feeling that shit as soon as I walked in. It was just two hipster black dudes that I'm pretty sure were Jamaican that was trying to pass off as Creole. I'm like, nah, nigga, y'all make jerk tacos. Like, you ain't fooling me.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Did you enjoy any of the sights? Any of the sights? Was there like one thing that you were like, man, that was kind of cool looking?
No.
Utter silence.
Yeah.
Utter silence. Complete utter silence.
Playing the Jeopardy music. No. No, there was not one thing that I could think of that I kind of liked. Even remotely about it.
They had buses that drove in the middle of the street.
But that's confusing. Because what if you have a bus that's coming one way, and then that one's running late, and then another one's coming the other way?
It's a simple fact, Haley. The buses can't run late. Because no one lives there. No one's riding the bus. How can it be late? They're always right on time with their 3 passengers. It's a mess. So I think, what was the weirdest thing you've seen then?
And then streets suck. So, in Chicago, I think you talked about it before. Maybe you can say it better. But the streets kind of like curve in a way that water doesn't like stay on the street for long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it helps like not destroy the concrete and keeps the road from not flooding everywhere. That's why Indiana has such a terrible flooding
problem.
Because they don't drain the fucking water. And it really didn't even rain that much.
No, it really didn't. The minor amount that it did rain, and the streets were just full of water because... And what you're explaining is just the fact that, like, our roads curve from, like, you know, the middle. So it's, like, high in the middle, so when it rains, the water runs down to the sides. Yeah, Indianapolis just had fucking flat lands. Like, the roads were flat. So what happens is when it rains, it puddles up right in the fucking middle. And if it does slide to the sides, they're not run off anywhere properly. And I'd barely seen any like water drains or anything like that anywhere.
I saw one drain, but it like rose up from the ground a little bit.
Yeah, it was like one of those what do you call it from the movie? It.
Oh yeah.
And it's where Georgie got pulled down. They had one of the most. Right, because ours are just like right in the ground.
Yeah.
So like the water just runs into it. They had the little shit that's on like under the curb, right. Where you snatch Georgie up on a balloon.
But I don't know. It like rose up more, so it's not like draining any water because the water's not getting there in time. No. Like by the time it's there, it's already flooded.
It's either flooded or drying up. Yeah, maybe you guys want to do that architecture-wise as well for the houses. Maybe if you build them off the ground, just a smidget.
A little?
Just a smidget. Probably put some concrete around the basement lining. You might not fucking flood. I was always wondering why everybody's like, yeah, Indiana has just a really bad flooding problem. So like, well, it sounds like you have no drains anywhere. And all the houses were literally, like, the grass was growing over most of the buildings. You guys don't believe in, separating the grass from your house. That's a fundamental fucking problem. Most of our housing, there's, I think 6 feet of concrete around most of our house. And then the other end is, like, all blocked off as much as possible as well, so water doesn't run in. And then it's bricked off properly, so yeah, you don't fucking flood your goddamn house consistently. Y'all don't understand that. And then there's one motherfucker. This one motherfucker just is like, you know what, I'm missing home. Mi casa es su casa. And they took that shit too goddamn far and built a goddamn pueblo in the middle of the goddamn neighborhood. Damn. And I'm not even bullshitting. That house is I'm gonna look up the address. I'm putting them motherfuckers on blast. I will pull that address up. It will be on the Facebook. Because I know exactly where it was. I will show you a picture of that motherfucking house. I won't leave the address up. But I'm going to put a picture of that house up.
A little Google Earth going on.
All right, we'll Google Earth that shit. We'll find the address. And then we will just leave that shit on the Facebook page. Like, you do not build a pueblo.
They painted it.
It was piss yellow. Mm-hmm. They didn't bring, the goats or the chickens. They had little statues of them.
Plastic ones.
Right, and little plastic statues of chickens and goats, but they was just really missing home. Mm-hmm. And they had that ugly-ass pueblo out in the middle of and I mean, it was like a hipster neighborhood. I seen this fucking gay-ass dude walking 2 dogs. And
big-ass German Shepherds at that.
And I'm going to say this real quick. I don't think anybody in Indianapolis should be gay.
No.
That town is too damn depressing for you to be gay. What are you gay about? Are you just gay because probably the women look like shit over there? Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, I'll just suck a dick instead.
There's no looking up, so you might as well go down.
Fuck it. Jesus Christ. There were so many gay dudes over there. Honestly. It was because we seen one dude jogging in skinny jeans, not skinny jeans, yoga pants.
Yoga pants. Like, there's no man that goes outside in yoga pants.
Absolutely not. Like them tight ass, onesie ass yoga pants.
I'm talking about cinch the booty.
And I mean, we have Boys Town in Chicago. Like, we have an area
a whole
dedicated
area
to the gays.
For gay people. And they ain't never seen that.
I ain't never seen that one. I will go on the record and say that is probably the gayest thing I ever seen. Was a dude jogging in yoga pants. Like, he should have been slapped. Like, you remember that commercial? I don't know if you remember that commercial. The Snickers commercial with Mr. T. Oh, I gotta show you that commercial. It was Mr. T rolling around in a tank shooting non-manly men, and one of the commercials was a dude speed walking, and he popped out of nowhere with a tank and was shooting them with Snickers out of a cannon, talking about get some nuts. Goodness. That man should have been shot with that same exact cannon. That's all I'm saying. I will post that on the Facebook page as well. He deserved to get shoot. That same dude, well, this new dude that we seen, deserved to get shot with multiple Snicker bars. Yeah, multiple Snicker bars. Get some nuts, dude. Stop wearing yoga pants. That is probably the gayest shit I've ever seen. And that is not gay and negative. That is too homosexual for my taste. And I've met a plethora of homosexual men, and none of them is that gay. None of them.
Nope.
You can wear pants. You can wear shorts. Ain't nothing wrong with wearing shorts. You can wear shorts for all I care. You need extra movement for the running. You need to be loose, free flowing.
That has what am I trying to say? A functionality to it.
Exactly. Short shorts have functionality.
Yoga pants.
Yoga pants is for
everything
bitches.
is confined. You need I don't know. I'm not a dude, but you would think you don't want confinement.
I mean, not to that level.
No.
Not to the level of yoga pants.
Are definitely not loose.
No. I mean, you don't want your nuts jingling either.
But you don't want them hugging.
I mean, some dudes like that now, man. Have you seen sports boxers? They want their nuts. I mean, they even got them new boxers. I ain't sponsored by them either. I don't know who they are exactly. But I'm not sponsored by this, but I'm just throwing them a quick shout out. They got these new boxers where they have little ball sacks. And you can stuff your nuts and dick into the sack in the boxers to keep them kind of Why are you looking at me like that? They got ball sacks for your sacks.
Okay. I don't understand. I'm not a dude. I don't have those.
I'm just saying.
So I'm just going off of what you say.
I'm just letting you know they got sacks for your sacks.
Okay.
Quarterback sacks for your sacks. I should be sponsored by that. I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah.
I want to be sponsored by the ball sack boxers. Sacks for your sacks. Protect your nuts.
There you go. Hit up the bills.
Get up a little elevation for your nut sacks. Is that a problem? I don't know, because I don't have a problem with my boxers. I wear boxer briefs. That's more than enough hugging for my nuts. I don't think I need a sack for the nuts. If anybody's listening that knows the company I'm talking about, let me know which company that is. Or if the company is listening, send me a free pair of your underwear. I'm a size 3X. I'm a big boy.
Personally review them on
I will review them on the channel. I will wear your sack shorts. And I'll let you know if they're working. I don't know what they call. I'm going to call them sack shorts. I will personally endorse them sack shorts. Nut sacks for your sack. Protect your nuts. All of that good shit. They got a shit ton of slogans. And I bet you they ain't using out of none of them.
No.
But yeah, no. Indianapolis was a fucking hellhole.
Sucked.
I didn't like it. I mean, we didn't get any food from there, so I can't even review it. And my thing is normally just going to man versus food, and I get at least something out of that. They had giant pork sandwiches,
which was closed. We went by it.
Did we? Yeah. They had some hamburger bullshit and hot dogs. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I did notice though? When we drove around the stadium, not a fucking bar.
No.
Not a fucking bar in sight.
No hangout spot there at all.
No. And I mean and again, I'm not saying that I'm well traveled, but here in Chicago, you go to a Bears game, tailgating immediately. Mm-hmm. I didn't even see the parking lot for the Colts Stadium, so I don't think there's tailgating space. But if there is, I mean, prove me fucking wrong.
We've been on the other side, but no, we went on the other.
We went two sides of the stadium. We kind of just rolled around it. Because I seen the Peyton Manning statue. I'm pretty sure that was Peyton Manning with number 10, ugly ass bronze statue. You'll never have as many rings as Brady. You'll never be as good as Brady. Brady got 7 of them bitches, and he's still playing with your being head ass.
After the game, though.
Yeah, where the fuck are you going? You're not tailgating. Didn't look like there was room for tailgating. Definitely didn't see any bars or restaurants anywhere nearby. Chicago, plenty of tailgating space. As soon as you leave the game, you got Michigan Avenue, you got State Street, you got gyms right down the street. There's no way in the fuck you're not going to gyms or Maxwell Street right after the game. You got Chinatown if you just craving, because most people that go to the game, they drink a lot. What do drinkers eat right after? Chinese food. So goddamn, they got Chinatown right there. So you straight in Chinatown. After that, then there's Bridgeport for the hipsters. You got within a reasonable distance a lot of shit to do right there. There's a handful of bars. I think there's a sushi spot right off of Michigan. Yeah, plenty of shit to eat. Jake Malnick's Corner Tap, not a plug, but that's a good spot to go. I would say right after the game too. Right up north, just a little further north if you headed that way.
What's it called? There's another burger spot literally right there off Roosevelt.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about too.
It's not far. We went there last. Not me and you, but I went there.
Fuck, I know the name of the place, but it's right off of Roosevelt. I remember that. Fucking what's the name's not too far away. Portillo's, right up the damn street.
Oh yeah, big after game.
Right, that's definitely some after game Chicago eating.
Yeah, big greasy food for that alcohol to go down.
Hell
That's what you need.
That's what you need, man. You don't drink at the game all damn day. Game lets out 8 o'clock, so you got all that good shit right there. Went to Indianapolis, not a goddamn thing. Shit, the churches was closed. Can't even get Church's chicken in that bitch. I didn't even see a McDonald's near that motherfucker.
No, well, there was a White Castle.
Yeah, there's a shit ton of White Castles. There's more White Castles than anything else. That's ass food. I don't want to say I hate White Castle, but it's very rare that I go to White Castle, eat, and be like, that was good. I'm satisfied. White Castle's like 4th or 5th on my fast food restaurant radar of just like legit high-level chain fast food. Maybe 5th. Ass food. So what else? Right, there was none of that shit.
Like even when we went to Green Bay, like there was a huge like local.
What's the name of that motherfucking place? I'm gonna look it up. Go ahead, keep talking.
There was a local burger spot, which is also a bar.
Right.
Like literally right outside of the stadium. And they even said like there's signs everywhere that this place gets super crowded and you may need to get your food to go so you actually have a place to eat it at. Like they experience high volume. Like that's such a great place to have your business if you're a restaurant owner, is right outside of a stadium when you have food like that.
Yeah. Crow's West was the name of the place.
Yeah.
Crow's. That shit was good too.
Very good.
Really good. Like I'm not even like, I mean, I'm a big defender of the Italian beef, but that was like a good contender for the Italian beef. I mean, that's just a roast beef sandwich. So it's not the same as Italian beef, but that was a damn good sandwich. And they dipped it right. Which is like my one big argument for most sandwiches is when they say they got that Italian style sandwich and they're like, we dip it. And they're like, you don't dip it enough. You double dip that bitch. You soak that meat. You get it all good and juicy.
You know, they either dip it way too much or they don't do it hardly enough. Exactly. And they even gave you a little bit extra too, just in case you want to.
Right. And they dip the shit out of it and then give you a little corner piece. Like, here, dip the rest of that shit if you want some more. So that was good.
The burgers were really good too. I had a burger.
Oh yeah, that was all good stuff. And they all good food. They had these little bells at the table, so you can just ring the bell when you wanted somebody to come over instead of them, harassing you like every other restaurant. Is everything great?
Okay. Are you okay? Everything's good, right?
Can I get you a refill? Can I? What about you? Yes, motherfucker, keep them coming.
Fill it up.
Motherfucker, just bring me a pitcher.
I'll fill it myself.
Like, goddamn, dude, just fill up my goddamn liquid. I'm thirsty. Your sandwich is dry. Pitcher, please. I think I've done that so many times now, by the way. Yeah. Like, you go to a fucking, what's that shit, Buffalo Wild Wings or some shit like that. I'm just like, just bring me a pitcher or something. I don't give a fuck, man. Like, stop wasting my time with
water. Like, I want to get it myself.
Right. You ain't finna come back. That's a trick for everybody who goes to a restaurant, by the way. Just ask for a pitcher. They'll bring it to you. Because that means they ain't got to do as much work. Right. So best believe they will bring you a pitcher or something. I'm like, yeah, instead of you keeping it coming, just let me do it my damn self. Get the fuck out of here. It's free refill, so let me refill that shit myself. Yeah, but I think that was the biggest thing, was just like, I didn't understand the layout of the city of Indianapolis. I didn't like, just how everything was flowing. I mean, I don't even think Indianapolis is a sports city, and they for damn sure proved it by having nothing around their stadiums except for a fucking factory. Yeah, dude, no, that city was just like fucking asininely backwards. So, do you have any final thoughts? What are your final thoughts on the city in Indianapolis? Let's just finish pissing off all the goddamn Hoosiers, which is a stupid name, by the way.
It is. Ain't never going there.
Yeah.
Never moving there. The most you got from me, just because I'm an animal lover, is I want to check out the zoo. But, man...
They got zoos everywhere.
They got zoos everywhere.
We got 2 of them bitches. We got 2 zoos, an aquarium, and 5 museums. Yeah, so man, we got plenty of shit right here in Sweet Home Chicago. We don't need Indianapolis's shit-ass zoo. I bet they got dead monkeys in that bitch.
What the fuck?
Probably feeding them shitty-ass zoo animals fucking White Castle burgers. Because they can't afford nothing else.
Wow.
We don't want your zoo. Fuck out of here. So, actually, I guess my final take on it all is I should have listened to my viewer base. None of you sent me anything to go to and see in Indianapolis. I should have just taken that as a bad omen of, don't take my stupid ass to Indianapolis. Ain't shit there for you.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought y'all was just being quiet. I thought y'all just didn't understand that I needed help. I didn't know that y'all was just dead ass serious about just like, yeah, no, don't go. Next time, if you really don't want me to go somewhere, how about just send me an email saying, don't fucking go. I won't go there. So, I think next on our traveling chopping block, we were considering, a quick swing by St. Louis. Yeah. Possibly, because we just want to make sure that that's not a home for us.
Yeah. We're looking into Texas areas.
Yeah, so Texas is next, so.
We don't know what city of Texas, but we're
idea.
Looking.
I'm thinking Houston and Austin, because that's where everybody in my mama, like all of my family's around that area. Mm. And a few people I know that went to Houston, Austin area, so maybe?
I don't know where my stepdad's family is from.
I forget Right, I forget your family was from there too. Mm.
They live in Virginia now.
Right. So, yeah, we'll have to look into it. So Texas will be our next chopping block. So if you guys got any advice on St. Louis and or Texas, let us know. We're all ears, and
be honest.
And be honest. And if you don't think it's good, fucking say so. So I don't waste my goddamn time going over there.
Please.
And yeah, give me some touristy shit to do. Like I want to go over there and check it out. I want to see what you guys are doing over there. In St. Louis, do not send me to the goddamn Arch though. Fuck the Arch. I don't give a shit about the Arch. I really don't care. Is St. Louis a city of brotherly love?
I think.
Or is that... No, it's Philly. Right, because it was the oxymoron that Philly's the city of brotherly love and they're a bunch of assholes.
They got that New York assholeness of them.
Right.
Without the New York,
good
charm.
Stuff.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's Philly's like the New York stepbrother that no one really likes.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to fit in. Because you get New York, Boston, that have the similar attitudes, and then Philly's like, but what about us? Fuck you too then. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no. So how about since we've roasted Indianapolis enough, let's cut to a quick commercial, and then we'll come back, and then we just had a little bit more to run our mouths about, and then we'll call it a day. All right, so we'll catch you after these quick messages. Thank you. Goodbye. And we're back. Did you enjoy those commercials?
You didn't skip, did you?
You better not skip my commercials. I need money. I'm broke. Y'all, and I ain't got no Patreon yet. Y'all ain't donating no money.
OnlyFans coming soon.
Oh, snap. I'll show you my side boob. After all our ridiculous travels today, we spent some time listening to some podcasts, some good ones, some not so good ones. And then there was one that we will not name yet because I think we both want to give them another try.
Yeah. Could almost try to see what they actually have. We only listen to a quarter of one episode.
So the podcast was about metal music because obviously metal music is near to dear to both of our hearts.
Yes.
But they did this episode based on the most iconic moments or most important moments to metal. And I think we were both just you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about whatsoever. So we're going to just take a bit of what we heard from them, kind of dissect it ourselves from a black fan of metal and a metal artist herself from our perspectives, and we'll tell you what we feel. So first thing they talked about, the most thing was that's one of the most iconic moments of metal. It's metal's creation in general, which is very cheesy, by the way, to throw on this.
Origins.
The origins of metal. So they were discussing that I think it's just well known that Black Sabbath was the originators of metal, and it's highly debatable, but
not entirely true. He's a big component of the early days.
Yeah, I definitely won't say that. I'm not going to sit here and say that Black Sabbath isn't important to metal. The creators of metal, I don't think so. The most important figures of metal, I kind of don't want to say that either. Mm-hmm. I don't even want to say that Black Sabbath is the most important figures in metal. I'm going to do a quick Google search while you discuss your points, though.
Google?
Who created metal?
Now, for me, I have played in a metal band. I play guitar. To me, metal is all about, at least in its early days, it was a combination of, opera and just like that big, boisterous, big, loud sounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, in opera, especially, and if you listen to bands like Metallica's done a whole entire album.
Two albums.
With an orchestra, and there's bands like Finnish bands like Nightwish.
Yeah.
And what's the other one?
Oh, that's slipping my mind. Because you really like that band.
Yeah.
And I can't even think of the name of the song that they did.
Julian,
right. They did the song Julian. That was a really good song. Oh.
But opera's a big thing, and there's bands that do it really, really well. That
the chick from what's that band name? Jesus Christ, we're just like stupid today.
We've been driving for hours. Okay.
No, the chick from Arch Enemy. She was an opera singer until she slightly damaged her voice, and then was like, "Fuck it, metal." Fairly similar in talent skill, but now that my voice is slightly damaged and I can't hit highs, I can hit lows and still use my skill to hit lows. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, Nightwish, Arch Enemy are big advocates of, like, showers of it. Apocalyptica, taking cellos of obvious orchestrated sound and then creating metal out of it. What's another one? Obviously, you said Metallica using S&M 1 and 2, taking all of their great songs, backing them with fully orchestrated sounds, and it's clean, perfect. It's like you didn't lose anything, you just gained a wholer sound now. Yeah. What was the other band? Oh, you can't find it? Son of a bitch. But I think, a classical sound was important, and I just did a quick Google search. Who's the father of metal? Actually, the ones who consider the fathers of metal are Bach, Beethoven, and Mozart. Mm-hmm. No shit. Classical music is what developed metal. Because without that classical, the way I describe it is, because classical and orchestrated music, because I was a big fan of operas as a child, weirdly enough, they tell the story of the fallen hero or the hero struggle, the epic tales. All epic tales are based on a losing hero. The hero never makes it. And I feel like that shows very well through really good old school style metal as, the tragic story of a hero. Not the hero who wins. Not the bullshit Marvel stories that people are used to now, but the tragic heroes. The guys that do whatever it takes to get to the end, and then somehow things don't work out for them at the end. You take that essence of a story and back it with metal, and it meshes perfectly. 100%. Classical music, orchestrated music, is the beginning of metal. It was just done differently. Why do you think it almost seems like the same style of humans that like classical music, like metal in some form or some sense?
I mean, the biggest thing, even what you just searched up, Beethoven, like, you think of his story, like, he had a shit-ass childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And he was kind of forced into it. Well, look at the greats in metal. Like, they grew up in a shit-ass childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And they get pissed off. And then they join a band, and then they get, they
That's
get
their
to
outlet.
express themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's 100% the same story.
Mm-hmm. And I think a good way, and I hate to give him any credit for this, but the School of Rock kind of shows you that perfectly, the Jack Black movie, where, like, he took those kids who were learning classical style music and said, take what you know and just make it heavier. You're just changing the tone just a bit. And now you have metal. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. It's classical music written, like, just kind of rude, is the best way you can say it. It's just boiled down to its core. And its core is just rhythmic, progressing melodies. Yeah. And that's pretty much all metal is. It's taking music, boiling it down to its root and saying progressive, upbeat, high-intensity sounds. So, I think without classical music, you have no metal. That's what's more important. Not Ozzy. Not Dio. Not saying that those dudes aren't important. Those are the guys that created.
Really important, but in their own way.
Yeah, those are the guys.
The creation.
Right. I think those guys are what developed modern metal, like metal that we see today.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for those guys, but metal wouldn't existed without classical, without epic tales, without the fallen hero and stuff like that. That's what drives true metal music. Is that kind of storytelling. So that's super important. And just to boil it down to Ozzy and Dio and those guys, you're doing metal a disservice. Yeah. And I think even before you even get to those guys, it's classical, then it's the birth of rock.
Yeah.
It's the birth of the rebel. You know, the guys who, you know, pop music has always been a thing. Beatles and guys like that. Not saying that those guys are bad, but that stuff is, you know, it's commonplace. And you needed rock to fuel the rebels. You needed the blues to take yourself to a darker place that is not upbeat. That's, to me, 10 times more important than anything else, is understanding the blues. Anybody who's worth their salt in music, especially metal, understands classical, understands the blues, and then truly, you know, understands their instrument. It takes all of those elements to make metal exist. Metal nowadays has been whittled down to bullshit, but we'll get into that in a bit. But I think that's what's the most important. That is the origin story of metal, as classical music, the blues, then the creation of rock music. B.B. King. B.B. King is the most influential crossover. It's taking blues to a harder rock sense, which develops hard rock, then metal later.
Right.
So yeah.
So, even though Dio and Black Sabbath were really, really important, they 100% were not creation of metal.
No. I think they just took that stuff out of rock into a new sound.
Right.
Because rock was prevalent in their era. Hair bands, I think, were becoming to rise up. Because I think a lot of people consider Black Sabbath almost a hair band.
They were at one point.
So, you can't even say it's metal. They just took the transition from hair to metal. It just made hair metal a little more dark.
No, they did, like you said a little earlier, they did contribute to modern metal.
Yes.
For sure. But, yeah, not the creation.
Not the creation of metal. So, I think that's going to be our point behind it, is very important to modern metal. I won't give them credit for creating metal. But they were the heavy influence of what metal is today. Like, if you didn't have Dio, Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, you're losing that fully transitioned system into Deep Purple. That's where you're losing true metal. Yeah. But I think rock would have progressed still. Mm-hmm. Rock would have still eventually changed and morphed into possibly metal. So it's just maybe like alternative music. Like, I think alternative music is just a weird branch of metal, but came back to its rock origins. You know what I mean? So you would have gotten stuff like that, and let's be honest, alternative music is awesome. Yeah. Linkin Park before they became weird. I think Korn is like a nice mix of alternative and metal. System of a Down for damn sure. Those are your bands that are teetering back and forth between metal and hard rock. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
you have a good mix of both.
Yeah.
In every album.
Exactly. So as I said, you would have probably ended up with more bands sounding like that, and less of Metallica's, Iron Maidens, and shit like that. So, yeah, I think that's a good point. What was their second point? Do you remember?
Like what they talked about next?
Yeah.
They started to get into the devil horns.
Yeah, I think that's where we finally tuned out.
Yeah, then we turned it off. Because I know that they were joking, and it was supposed to be funny, but they were like, well, the devil came up and showed us this thing, and that's where we do it now. And
it's the like, devil.
No, it came from I think Irish grandma.
That makes sense.
And that was a way of her, expressing that you're doing something bad.
Yeah. Hey. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. No, that makes total sense, because I was going to say, I bet money that it was like, a Christian Catholic school that came up with some shit like that. Mm-hmm. And they was like, you kids are the devil, doing, like, pointing at all the kids with the 2 horn fingers. Mm-hmm. Just like, making it a negative thing, and then metalheads kind of grabbed and was like, no, we're going to keep that.
Dio.
Right, Dio.
Made it a popular thing at concerts.
Right. Which I honestly think has fallen from the wayside now. I don't think devil horns are that like
a lot of new age don't know what it is.
No.
Especially don't do it right.
No. I can guarantee you almost 90% of people who do the metal horns never do them right. They do the I love you symbol. And ASL.
Yeah.
Which is Assistant Sign Language, right?
American
Sign Language, right. That was a weird tangent, don't mind me. But they do the two fingers up,
your
pinky and index, and then thumb. That's wrong. It's tucked. So do the OK symbol with your two middle fingers. So ring and middle finger, pinky and index finger out. So that's your devil horns.
Is it's supposed to look like the head with the mouth. There's your eyes, and then there's the horn.
Oh yeah, so your knuckles are the eyes, mouth is where the fingers meet. Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
That's what it's supposed to be.
And then everyone does it wrong, because doesn't he do it with his fingers extended out? Yeah, and then most people now do it with the fingers tucked in. Yeah. So you're right. You're supposed to have like your thumb and two middle fingers at a point facing outward, like a face, and then the two horns are up. So that's how it's supposed to be done. That makes a lot more sense. Tucked is not right. But there's like 16 variations to the devil horns now, right? Because you have like the original with the fingers out facing forward, tucked. I know I've seen double-handed, so both pinkies out and your fists together. Yeah. And then there's like another weird one. I'm gonna look that up real quick. Yeah, this is Google time today, baby. Different devil horn hand symbols. Is that a good way to search it up?
I guess.
Different metal and non-metal. Jesus Christ. Thank you, Google, for listening to me. Different devil horn. Horn hand signs. Different devil horn hand signs. Alright, see, they have it wrong too. They have it where the fingers are tucked. Right. So many signs of just like, please don't do it this way. For the love of God, don't extend your fingers. That thumb makes it so wrong right away.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can get some images. Images, please, of the different devil horns. Now, that's what I was going to ask you. Does Dio do it with the horns on his head? The right, like that?
Sometimes.
Rocker
That's the way
Gene
he
Simmons.
did it.
All right. Another good thing. Look at that. Ain't that some shit? Gene Simmons doing it wrong in multiple fucking hands. Oh my God, what an asshole.
I hate Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons, I created this, and then does it wrong immediately. What a fucking asshole.
Look, why can't we get cancel culture to get rid of
him?
They
will never get rid of him. There we go. And we have, a photo of him doing. So he did it with the hands tucked as well. Yeah. So he probably fluctuated between the two.
Yeah.
I love how immediately we see Gene Simmons doing it wrong. And then Dio right behind it doing it properly. Another question. How do you feel about the devil horns being done facing inward or outward? Does that make a difference to you?
I don't think so. I don't think it matters really.
No.
At least to me.
See, I've always learned it as you do it to you and then out.
Yeah. Well, that's the way he did it. Dio did it in a lot of his videos. Is he would kind of bring it in and pull it out.
Right. Yeah, you're supposed to bring it to yourself, out to you. Yeah, that's fucking like literally every photo of Gene Simmons is doing the devil horns wrong as shit. Literally wrong as shit.
Is that George?
That's George Bush, man. Somebody saluted him. Norwegians salute Bush with Satan sign. Man, Norwegians are just metalheads, man. They don't fucking know any better.
Yeah, that's a good symbol.
All right. Another photo of Gene doing it wrong as shit. Jesus Christ, Gene is an asshole.
Get rid of him.
Yeah, no one likes you, Gene. No one likes Kiss at all. Kiss is fucking garbage anyway.
Dude, did we tell? Yeah, we told the story in our concert.
The concert podcast where we literally just left.
Dude, not even just us. The entire stadium of people. All left as soon as he took step on stage.
Not even as soon as he stepped on. As soon as Rob Zombie was done. And they're like, all right, there you go. Good show. We're out. Fuck you. Because we knew as soon as they came up, want to rock and roll. No one gives a shit.
Leaving.
Detroit, Rock City. Detroit sucks. Oh, look at that. Just fucking. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
You have a guitar tuner that's a double horns. That's pretty dope. That's actually really dope. See, these guys did it too. They did it both inward, and then some guys do it outward. Oh man, we were really rocking on this one for a little too long. Yeah, I can't find that photo. I found the photo some years ago of like different ways of everyone doing the metal horns, and I can't fucking find it anymore. Oh well, not important.
But yeah, it originated from Dio's grandmother, and I can't remember where she was from originally. But yeah, he talked about it in an interview, and was telling the story and why he does it. And it was so long ago, I don't remember now, but it was really important to him, and that's why he did it all the time.
Right. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a true story. No one's gonna bring up family members when they create some shit, and definitely no one's gonna try and trademark it. And especially in the metal community, no one's trademarking shit that's important to us all.
Right.
You're just an asshole.
Especially when you do it fucking wrong.
Right. I mean, consistently wrong. Consistently wrong. Like, I have yet to see a picture of Gene Simmons doing the symbol right. Like, again, wrong. He was too lazy to even tuck the fingers at all. Like, what an asshole. What an absolute asshole. Yeah, Gene Simmons is a piece of shit. Kiss sucks, and they should never exist. Leave it at that. Right, he did even cross hands and everything, dude. That guy's fucking awesome. Dio is that guy. Is that guy. Oh, shit, wait. Is that Gene again? Or is that Dio?
Fucking Gene, how could you?
Alright.
How could you?
I couldn't see him. It was a small photo.
I'm actually
Look, he tried. You know what it is? He's... I don't know what happened here, but the mic cut out. So there's some dead space, and we're just gonna cut it together and put a commercial break. So just deal with that shit. It's a long-ass podcast, so fuck you. Just enjoy more commercials. Right?
Right.
Alright.
One hand symbol.
One hand symbol. Just to make sure that you are who you say you are.
Right.
And definitely count if you're doing it right. A.K.A. Mr. Dumbass Gene Simmons. Catching somebody doing it wrong, you're like, alright, you're not one of us.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, you're just a goddamn poser.
Go sit in the corner.
It's like, I don't love you, so stop doing that to me, please.
Here's the thing. If you see somebody doing the fucking I love you sign, just give them a thumbs down right away.
Yeah, that's exactly what they deserve. It's so sad. I think, but yeah, no, it's definitely important just for the fact of knowing who's who. It's kind of sad that the devil horns are going by the wayside now. Because people don't even scream horns up at concerts like they used to anymore.
These new kids don't know what it is.
No, they don't know what it is. They don't know the significance and importance of it. They don't know, Dio's the guy who came up with it.
Probably never even listened to a Dio song.
Yeah, probably have no idea who the fuck Dio is. And I'm not going to sit and say I'm a huge Dio fan, but at least run through the, the basics. I know, Holy Diver, Rainbow in the Dark, a handful of other songs. I really want to find that Ode to Dio album where everybody recreates his songs. It just seems like a great thing. Dude, that album cover is the shit. Yeah. I really just wanted it in vinyl for the simple fact that cover is going to be so much bigger. Yeah. We've got to find that. But yeah, no, Devil Horn's super important. Sucks that it's going away, but it's being replaced with the middle finger, which is cool in a sense, but just not the same.
It's not an international symbol of metal, like we just said,
Yeah. It's just kind of the fuck you. I mean, that's what it is. And, I mean, bands are starting to overuse it, too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, the devil horns were used just to get people pumped up. The middle finger, I don't know why. It's the one finger salute is, becoming common courtesy placement amongst metalheads. It's like, oh, man, middle finger's up. Fuck you. We're having fun. Dude, you remember times where, at concerts where I struggle, I don't know which ones to do? Like, the band's like, middle finger's up. And I'm just like, horns, right? I don't want to flip you off. I actually kind of like the song. I don't want to flip you off. Horns up, dude. I remember, I think it was Jack Black again. I hate giving him so much credit for metal shit that I've learned. I'm not saying he's not cool, but it's just like, I feel like it's wrong for me to also have learned a lot of metal from Jack Black.
But why?
He was a great teacher,
yeah.
Just Weird that that's the guy I learned. Most people, like you said, like they listen to Dio and Ozzy, and that's where they get all their metal knowledge from. And I'm like, yeah, I like School of Rock. Tenacious D.
Yeah.
The Pick of Destiny.
Right.
Man, that's why.
Because I guess, I grew up with it, and
Right.
I always kind of was in that crowd and that motion.
Right.
You weren't.
No, not a lot.
So,
I transitioned pretty much right after the 8th grade, or during the 8th grade, is when I finally made the big transition from rap music to like, okay, what's this rock stuff that everyone's listening to? And then even then, it was System of a Down, which was my first album, and Linkin Park. Just because Linkin Park was the great connector of the two genres of music. So, yeah. And then School of Rock came up, and I was like, all right, now I'm feeling this shit. Tenacious D? All right, I'm feeling this shit. The metal. So it was like, yeah, I just learned a lot from there. I completely forgot the point I was making. Damn. Oh, the devil horns. I remember Jack Black mentioning that's how you receive the power of the metal.
Oh, yeah.
Is through the devil horns when you hold them up and you receive the power from the band that's playing on stage through your fingers like antennas. And you absorb the power and you hold it in for yourself so you can really feel the music. That is some straight ass Jack Black shit.
Yeah, for sure. But it's still really cute.
It's cute. I like it. That's not important at all. Just fucking know that Dio did it. It's the devil horns and that's where it stops.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So that's all we listen to them.
Yeah.
Is there
we'll
anything?
Give them an honest chance, and we'll come back if they're worthy of you guys checking them out. Then we'll
plug them a bit. Yeah. If not, then we will roast them profusely.
Oh yeah. Name dropping everything.
So in your mind, what's an important moment of metal? What's something super important to metal that people might not understand?
The development of guitars, I think, is a big thing.
What do you mean?
So, like you said, B.B. King.
Mm-hmm.
He was really big into Lucille or his guitar.
Right.
So metal right now, the way we know metal, is a lot of guitar, it's a lot of drums, it's a lot of like instrumental stuff.
Right.
And granted, like we said, original classical music is very instrumental too, but it was more of like what they had at the time. It's pianos and things like that, which is great and it works. But when B.B. King came out and all these originals came out, guitars were a staple in the metal world, rock world. So I think the development of the guitar is like a big, big, big aspect of what we know of metal today.
That's definitely a big point. And I think it's not just guitar in general, but like the development of what you could do with electric guitars.
Right.
So
that bring notes to your dude. Was it Morello?
Tom Morello, yeah. Because he took what a guitar was and changed it immediately. Different tones, different sounds. I'm trying to think of that one song. Gorilla, I think it was Gorilla Radio. That was like the main theme song for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Which is another reason why I got into rock music, is because video games entirely will not untouch rock music. Rock music belongs in video games. And that's where I started to learn a lot. But yeah, that was the main thing for Tony Hawk Pro Skaters 2. And everybody who knows that song knows that there's a part in that song that sounds like a harmonica. And it was a dope-ass sound. And then when you get into it the musically more, and then you learn, like, no, that was his guitar, dude. Fucking flipped switches and was scratching the shit out of it, and it just sounded like a goddamn... just immediately sound like a harmonica. And the dude's incredible with it. So you got that, you got your pedals and all those weird tones. People learning, music in the greatest sense of being able to tone down certain steps, but it still sounds like music. I don't know who came up with that concept of like, what if I just not tune my guitar for a bit and tune it stupid and make it sound right? And,
playing around with it.
Right. And then develop something completely new.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Steve Morello, Van Halen. big aspect.
Yeah, because I didn't know much about Van Halen until you kind of showed them off to me. Because I thought Van Halen was like a movie band. I always used to like shit talk Van Halen. Cause I'm like, dude, like the song I always knew was fucking Pretty Woman, and I'm like, that song sucks.
Dude, you listen to those lyrics?
Yeah, I didn't listen to. I knew it from the movie. And then I heard "Pretty Woman Walking Down." I'm like, this is ass. This is ass music.
Into, the next line,
right? And then once you start listening to the lyrics, you're like, oh, these dudes are dicks. You dissect that era of music needs to be dissected for you to get like, oh, these dudes are assholes. Between them and Scorpion.
Oh yes.
Those two bands, Van Halen and Scorpion, I'm like, you must listen.
No, you need to
and then you need
lyrics,
to read.
Yeah.
And then you're like, these motherfuckers here are the greatest lyricists of all fucking time.
Oh yes.
Those dudes, I think, develop metal to a certain degree and guitar playing extremely well. Mm-hmm. Van Halen, dude dragged a fucking drill across his guitar. I would have never thought to do some shit like that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what shit he was smoking that day.
Well, they were highly high during that whole thing.
But it was like ha 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 ha
ha ha ha. So,
but
I'm
again,
sure drugs made that happen.
But again, like, what were you smoking? What did you have to do? Again, just suspend all belief for a few minutes. And just be like, all right, I'm sitting there, I'm smoking weed. I got my guitar in my hand.
Oh, they did not do weed.
Well, you know what I mean. I'm just saying. Shut up. whatever drugs you're doing. He had to have his guitar in his hand at some point during all of this. Fucking around with it. At what point do you grab a drill? And like, what if I just slid this bitch across it real quick?
Yeah, it can make a weird sound.
I mean, and I know, like, he had to be out of his fucking mind, because I've played with drills because I'm a fucking retard. And I'll sit there and pull the trigger like a goofy kid for a long time. But not once am I just like, you know what, I can't say that, because did I ever show you how at work I'd use the drill to roll up stickers? Yeah, so I can't say I'm not that level stupid. Again, look, if you just take, I took a screwdriver, put it in the drill, sealed it up, and then just taped the stickers, the end of the roll to one end as it was printing off. And then you just pull the trigger and that motherfucker rolls right back up into a ball.
I mean, it's efficient.
It's efficient as fuck. You just every once in a while you gotta pull the trigger. And then it just wraps up nice and neat, and then you just take it off and boom, you're good to go. Not once even in that moment where I was like, but if I drag that bitch across the guitar though, I could just make dope ass sounds. And Van Halen's like, I'm gonna do that shit. And I'm gonna do it for Pretty Woman, matter of fact. That was the beginning of that. Wasn't that Eruption?
I think so, yeah.
Right, where he's doing that shit. That is Eruption than Pretty Woman, I think. Yeah. What goes with Eruption? Oh my fucking god.
Google.
No, it was, damn, what's that other Van Halen song? God damn it, that's gonna bother me. Everybody's gonna roast me. E-R-U-P-T-I-O-N. There you go. Eruption, Van Halen. Goes with what song? What song does it go with? Oh my god. Oh my god. You really got me. Another, like, movie-ass song. Like, did you ever watch any movies in the early 90s? It's like all this shit was playing on movies, and you would have thought nothing behind it.
Yeah.
I think you really got me playing on fucking Mrs. Doubtfire or some shit. Some shit that no one gave two rats ass about. It's like, what? And that was these dudes? Well, and I can't even remember my favorite song. Ain't Talking About Love. That's my favorite Van Halen song. He literally, the lyric in that song was, well, you send me good looking and on the streets again. I have no idea who he's talking about. It sounds like a whore.
Yeah, it's a whore.
I'm pretty sure he's talking about
really
horse.
That good looking.
And she's not semi good looking. You on the street. I guess you working, so I got a few dollars. How you just haphazardly, casually picking up a half decent looking fucking whore? I ain't talking about love.
Van Halen, everybody, give it up.
Said I ain't talking about love. We can do this thing real quick, and then you can get the fuck out my face. Same thing with fucking Scorpion. I love Scorpion, but now I listened in depth to Rock You Like a Hurricane, and I'm like, y'all niggas actually put this song out? Y'all was able to put this on the radio?
They didn't curse in there.
They didn't curse at all.
You had to listen to it in order to get what you're saying.
I can't remember that line exact. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Rock You Like a Hurricane. Oh my god, that was another good one. You like a hurricane. Lyrics, please. Give me the lyrics, please. There we go. Fucking great song. Where is it? Oh my god. No, they did curse once. They cursed one time. The bitch is hungry. She needs to tell. So give her inches and feed her well. More days to come, new places to go. I've got to leave. It's time for a show. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Oh my god, this is great. Look at this. My body's burning. It starts to shout. Desire's coming. It breaks out loud. This is awesome. Lust in Cage.
Song about fucking.
Right, this song is just straight fucking. The wolf is hungry. He's licking his lips. Oh my god. These dudes made a song and everybody's just like, yeah, rock you like a hurricane. That's a really good song. Yeah. He's literally talking about fucking bitches. He's literally just talking about fucking bitches. I love it. I fucking love it. These guys are incredible. Again, just skill that music nowadays are missing. They don't know nuance.
No, it's that hidden meaning behind everything. Metallica is really good at that.
Oh
too.
Hell yeah, dude! You know, like to this day, until I read a fucking autobiography by them, never knew that Master of Puppets was about drugs. Mm-hmm. It was about dealing with a drug addiction. Mm-hmm. Incredible storytelling. And I was just like everybody else, just screaming, "Master!" That's it. I don't care. And then you listen to the lyrics, and you're like, "No, this motherfucker's talking about drug addiction." I think he literally talked about snorting cocaine off of a mirror at one point during that song. I'm just like, oh, I really missed that part. Yeah. It's a great storytelling. Now, again, I'm not going to sit here and say that every metalhead in the world has listened to these songs and understand every deeper meaning behind them all, but the fact that it's there is more point to the artists themselves than maybe the fans. Right. You can't sit here and say that metal music's for dummies. Maybe just the dummies don't get it. But the intelligence is there. So I advise everyone, that's my homework to you, is to, if you're a metal fan, just find your favorite metal song and actually read the lyrics for once and see if there's a deeper meaning behind it. You might find something that you're highly surprised. Mm-hmm. I mean, look at Rock You Like a Hurricane and Van Halen and Metallica that we just taught you. I would have never known it if I didn't just look into the lyrics for once in my goddamn life. Mm-hmm. So definitely good. So yeah. The development of guitar playing was your big thing. Mm-hmm. And I know we just went off into a nice little tangent past that point. But yeah, the development of guitar is super important. For me, I'm going to say that the most important thing, holy shit, I just realized we've been going for an hour. Oh well, I guess we'll just finish this off and wrap it up soon. I didn't realize we've been going for this long. Good storytelling, right? Yeah. Welcome back.
Good first video back. Podcast back.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I think most important thing to metal, and I think that's important to everyone, and at least of my ilk, my most important thing is the camaraderie. I think there's a strong brotherhood that I think most don't understand until you're in it. And normally I don't go on this like style of like pity me bullshit, but metal music is just not highly regarded in the black community, I guess. Black people just don't listen to metal that often. And we get a lot of shit for being different. And for doing quote-unquote white shit. So going into it without a lot of help was difficult. You know, I didn't know who to listen to or what was good, but I just slowly picked it up thanks to MTV when they actually played music. And then, you know, meeting you and going to concerts. No, I was fish out of water a lot, but it didn't stay that way for very long because you guys are very welcoming. 100%. Some of the nicest people I've ever met, some of the coolest people I've hung out with, and people I've talked to, it's all around our love of the music, you know what I mean? Talking about our favorite bands, talking about shit that we like. There's such a weird camaraderie that no matter how many times, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it 1,000 times on this podcast, but you truly don't understand it unless you're around those people. You have to be in it. You have to go to a concert. It's literally the most important thing to me now is telling people, like, if you like the music, go see it in person. Because the people you'll meet, the people you'll be around, the people that you'll get to know. You know, lifelong friends, lifelong brothers, dude. Like, it's super important to me now. And honestly, like I've said 1,000 times over too, that's what the pandemic has robbed of me, is having that family friend base that I don't get to see anymore. You know, I'm surrounded by people I might not know personally, but we all vibe off the same shit. You know what I mean? And there's hundreds of us. Hundreds and thousands of us.
Yeah.
And it's just like we're all vibing off the same shit. Even the biggest asshole in that room is, you know, treated like the biggest asshole in that room. We don't excuse nothing. We don't allow terrible people to be there. If you are a dick, we will call you out. From the fans to the goddamn band. We will call you out in a heartbeat. If you're going to start trouble, you can get the fuck out. If you're an abusive jackass and you beat up on women or you fucking shove a chick too hard, we will call you out. Fans and bands included. We will call you out and get you the fuck out of there. No nonsense when it comes to that shit, but we're all friendly and family. And I'm saying, like, dude, the people that we've met, the couple from Oregon that we met, coolest people I've ever met.
Oh, yeah.
And never, you know, I feel like they're, you know, close friends, and we've met them once. Mm-hmm. We hung out with them for 3 days.
I hung out with them a separate day. They came to my job.
Right. And shit, knowing that they're slightly YouTube famous is actually pretty cool, but still. It's just like, it's really cool shit that people we met. The father and son that we met when it was his first concert. Yeah. And just like, dude, like, you're going to have the time of your life, and it's going to be a cool environment, cool people you're going to meet, all types of stuff like that. Shit, we pretty much sat next to fucking Jose Mangan. Yeah. Which is, like, incredibly weird. And I think we talked to him for a few minutes.
Yeah, real quick, yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, yo, like, dude, we just have lunch with a fucking serious radio DJ? Like, just random as fuck. And it's not like any other world that I've been in, you know what I mean? Where, like, you can see famous people, but it's always excuse the famous people. Let the famous people through.
Right, no, they want you to be a part of them.
Yeah.
And they'll come up to you. They'll be in the middle of the crowd. Like, I know Corey Taylor, he's, like, the lead singer of Slipknot and Stone Sour. He will straight up be in the middle of a mosh pit listening to his favorite bands before he goes on stage.
Exactly.
And he'll just be part of the crowd and be around his people.
Exactly.
He doesn't give a fuck. He knows that you know him, but he'll still be there. I mean, he won't be like on the other side of the barriers either. Yeah. He'll be in the crowd.
Exactly. Because he knows that's where the fans belong, man. Mm-hmm. The performance on stage. And they require, you know, just the common courtesy of being on stage. Like, yo, chill the fuck out. Listen to us play. Do all your shit, but keep it down there. Don't throw shit at us, and we just jam out together. But there's a difference between being the fan at the moment and the performer. And true metalheads know how to be fans first. Between Corey and what was the other band I was thinking of? All That Remains. All of those dudes are like actual fans of the music. They will hang out, listen to their I mean, almost every interview when they're playing, you know, stadiums or festivals, they're like, oh, so what do you guys do before the show? We go listen to other bands. And what do you do after your set? We go listen to the other bands. Like, I didn't come here just to play my show and sit in a bus. Like, I came here to interact and have fun and do all the shit. Yeah. Those dudes are fans of music, and I think that's, you know, a thing that is extremely important to me. Just the fact that there's so much etiquette, in a weird sense to say, like, amongst brutes and barbarians is what we're seen as. Yeah. There's etiquette, and I didn't understand it until I was mixed in with it, you know? You're in a mosh pit, we're all having fun, we're all bumping off of each other, but somebody falls, we're like, hold up.
Don't get each other hurt.
No, just everybody holds up, separates themselves, gives the guy some room, gets them up. If somebody's hurt, you know, we make space, let you get through, man. Do what you gotta do.
Get security. Like, there's somebody that helps you.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I mean, the amount of times that we've crowd surfed, you know, people in wheelchairs or, you know, old people and shit like that. We're like, dude, if you want to have fun, we're here to assist, man. We're here to assist or get out the way, man. We are not here to stop your fun. And I think that's, like, probably the most important thing to me. It's just, like, musically aside, the most important thing is that camaraderie that I don't think exists anywhere else. Even we have differences in opinions, differences in lifestyle outside. And once we come in and we're talking music, we're all about the music and the lifestyle that comes with it. Yeah, that was a sob story and a half, wasn't it? But it's true.
The truth, though.
It's the honest to God truth, man. And I say, I implore you all to look up a video of, you know, a band calling out a shit fan. Or just, you know, fan etiquette in general, you know what I mean? fucking mosh pit etiquette. Weird thing to say. Like, you see a mosh pit from a distance and people just bumping into each other.
Chaotic.
It looks like it's just absolute utter chaos. But there's so much organization.
Oh, yeah.
So much. Dude, there's like fucking dog training level hand signals. If somebody does, the finger in the air, spins it around, you're like, oh, circle pit. We all know what to do. Everybody gets their shit together. We all spread out and create a circle and people just doing the spin. If somebody spreads their hands apart, oh shit, here comes the wall of death. We know about her. You either back the fuck up or you spread the fuck out. Like, you're doing what needs to be done. And there's just a proper level of etiquette. And you're the asshole that wants to stay in the middle. And shit, that's on you to get if you're going to get hurt. But we will help you get the fuck out of the way once you're hurt because you're stupid. Yeah. But we'll allow you to be stupid. And it's cool as shit, dude. It's just like mosh pit etiquette is the thing I learned, dude. Just respect for, the fans and the bands and shit like that is another thing, You don't harass them. They love to be around you, dude. I've gotten recognized by multiple bands. I've told the story about how Lamb guy recognized me because I was nice. Mm-hmm. I wasn't one of those weird dudes that just ran up and screamed in their face. Yeah. Just like, fuck yeah, I can't wait to see it, blah! None of that shit. Just like, dude, really love your music. I love that shit. Can't wait to see you on stage. And when they got on stage, I was right there, just enjoying the music. Second time around, they're like, this fucking guy again, man. Give him the pick. Give him the fucking pick. He deserves it. Right at it. Right. I don't think he could have gotten it anywhere near us. He looked me dead in the eye before he flicked that pick. Most people, they just throw that bitch. But he looked at me and was like, you came back. You traveled for this shit. He knew, man. He fucking knew. And it's dope, man. There's just a weird camaraderie, man. And I don't think that exists anywhere else. I don't think that exists in any other genre of music. But yeah, I think that's enough, don't you think?
Yeah.
I think we've given you a solid hour of the welcome back. Hopefully there's more to come. I'm going to try and stay a lot more consistent. Because Thursday, I guess I'll reveal the big news, huh?
Yeah.
I'll make you wait till the next episode. Thursday's a good day to reveal the big news. And then, yeah, it's going to be a lot more fun shit to come at that point. So, until then, man, we'll catch you later. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure you tune in again. We'll catch you later. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Nonsense Podcast. Remember, tune in on your favorite streaming site like Spotify, Apple, or Google Podcasts. Also, don't forget to check us out on YouTube at FM Bob Show to listen to the podcast and watch videos by yours truly. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I also stream twice a month. The FNF streams on Twitch.tv. Just remember to search The FM Bob on Twitch.tv. And make sure you follow so you never miss out when I stream on the 1st and 15th at 7 p.m. Most importantly, follow me on Facebook at FM Bob Show so you can get updated on all things FM Bob and interact with the community. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you next time.